Happy Halloween, everyone. I'm hoping everyone's staying safe out there and I have a busy weekend ahead of them. Maybe some Halloween parties, I'm not too sure.
So yeah, that's why me and Sean thought it'd be a good opportunity to share with the community our recent cooking experiences, kind of where we started and where we are today. And as of course with the holidays coming up, it's so funny to say, but we're even thinking about trying to cook for a few of our friends or family. So hopefully that goes well, but without further ado, let's begin.
Yeah, so we were talking at the gym today about what we're gonna eat, or what I'm gonna eat tonight for dinner, and we started to laugh about how far we've progressed in our cooking in the last year, and what that's looked like, and we thought it'd be kind of entertaining to talk about our very organic, natural progression as single males through that time, and what that's looked like. So. I don't know. Let's kick it off with what we did before, even a year ago.
Yeah, and it's so funny that you mentioned that because I remember. I guess we've been moved out for about 6 months now, and when we first got to this apartment, we were like, how are we going to cook for ourselves? Our parents aren't there anymore. No one's there to put food on the table, so we literally got to suck it up and learn how to shop for groceries and learn how to play around with the stove and the oven and just make our own food. So I just even remember our Costco trips back then just consisted of buying pre-made food, really unhealthy food too, stacks of muffins and sweets, and also a lot of just pre-made food. We would just literally stockpile that in your freezer and just eat a couple of those every day, and we thought that was just what we needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember if I don't know where I think all Costco's have it. So your local Costco, they have these jambalayas, and there's these just different dishes that you buy pre-made. So we would buy a bunch of these and then just store it in the freezer and bring them out a day or two in advance and then thaw it out, and then we literally did that for 2 months.
I would say something like that.
Literally 2 months maybe, and
it's pretty embarrassing, but about that long.
Yeah. And so I think it's slowly progressed though. I'm that's what we want to talk about. I don't know if anyone else might be going through something similar like that, but kind of what that progression looked like. I think the next step then was salads, boiled eggs,
ground beef, sausages, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think after a couple months of just eating that pre-made food, we kind of realized
we're burning money.
Yeah, we're burning money, and the convenience wasn't it just didn't really make sense to spend a lot of money on these small pre-made food when we. So then at that point we learned to start making our own food.
Yeah.
But of course we didn't really have the skills necessary to operate a stove or learn how to fry things properly. So we, of course, two single guys, we couldn't do much. We started off with just boiling eggs and making salads and starting to, incorporate some cold cuts into there, some chicken breast that we could buy from the grocery store, and that kind of got us by for a little bit. It worked well, but and then what did we start doing after that?
I think the change, I think what was really driving it was that we both had different dietary needs. If you listen to our last video, or the second last video actually, you'll hear what differences that we have in our body types and what our fitness goals were. So then we're recognizing pretty quickly that you can't, we weren't hitting those diet goals, either of us, by doing what we were doing, eating these jambalaya, Costco things. And so then we realized that, first of all, for me, I'm a hard gainer, so I'm trying to eat volume. And one of those things should last a family, at least one family meal for a few kids and mom and dad. And I was eating half of it at one go, you know what I mean? So I think that our nutritional needs were different. And I think Max was, he's trying to clean up his diet a little bit, cut some weight. So you can't do that on that jambalaya stuff. So I think that's what changed, right? We started to be okay, we can't, it's not sustainable. We need to, change our diets a little bit more. And
yeah, we realized at that point we needed to start looking into buying real produce, chicken thighs and chicken breasts and
fresh vegetables,
fresh veggies that we have to boil and prep and all that good stuff. And I guess after a while too, what really helped was I guess during this time, it was around the summer months. So Sean and I were really motivated about the gym and trying to get healthy, work out, look good, feel good for those, for the beach and stuff like that. So since we were paying attention to our fitness more at that time, we also started to pay attention to our food and our, I guess, nutrition a little bit more. And at that point, when we started to buy more whole foods and produce and meats and veggies, we actually went on YouTube and we started to watch like these DIY learn how to cook videos. We watched the food channel a lot.
Tasty.
Yeah, exactly. Tasty was really good. We watched a lot of Gordon Ramsay videos and just learning how to cook basic stuff like preparing rice or like steaming veggies. So now I think we're at that point where we're not as embarrassing, but we still have a lot to learn. But I think me and Sean are at that point where we're able to cook a decent meal for ourselves, which would consist of like a nice healthy portion of fried veggies, some nice prepared meats, like some well seasoned chicken thighs, marinated some steak with like actual salt and pepper and like the butter and stuff, not just like a fried piece of meat.
It's like leather look.
Exactly, yeah. So I think we're getting somewhere, and of course we know we have a long ways to go before we can actually properly cook for other people without making them throw up.
But like I agree. Like we watched, like I remember there's this one channel I actually really want to shout out here. I think that it's the Six Sisters channel. So it's like 6 sisters have a YouTube channel, and they do a lot of instant pot like recipes, but like they have like very basic cooking, and it's meant for like families on the go. But like for me, that's like basic cooking, and so like that's something that I could learn from, and so that's what I felt like kind of honed our skills. And so now in the holiday season, I know Thanksgiving in Canada is already passed, but in America it's coming up, and then the Christmas around the corner. I was telling Mac that like this winter or this Christmas season, I think we should have some people over and like talk and like possibly make a little bit of a Christmas dinner. You know what I mean? Like nothing crazy. We're not trying to do like a 12-course meal, but like it's like a goal for us to kind of set to kind of improve our cooking skills. And like I feel like where we're at now is like we're in like a groove. We can very comfortably eat the food and sustain ourselves. But I think the next step is then like kind of cooking food that's not just for our parents and they'll just say, wow, it's amazing, just to appease us. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I guess with that being said, I was wondering if you had any kind of like because now you're at the point where you kind of know how to cook and you've I guess developed your own flavor for things and how to prepare a dish. Do you have any famous dishes that you've created that you want to share with the audience?
I actually,
I know you're very good at cooking chicken.
Yeah, like I'm not as good. I actually think Max, his ability to make food is much better than mine, and the presentation is very nice. Like it's like something you can see in a restaurant sometimes. But for me, like I'm very like, I don't know if this is like a male thing. Like leave in the comments below if you can also relate to this. But like I can eat the same thing over and over again and like be completely fine doing so. But like I guess like my go-to dish as like a hard gainer, I'm gonna make a bulk right now, is to have like 4 chicken thighs and rice and some like veg, like 2 greens. So like it'd be like asparagus and like bok choy or zucchini or something like that. The vegetables are just pan fried and the rice is just made in a rice cooker. But the chicken is just marinated in like some like Frank's red hot sauce, some like lemon juice and like salt, pepper, some paprika, I don't know how you pronounce that, some chili flakes, and like you let it sit there for like 20-30 minutes and then you bake it for 30 minutes at 425 in an oven. And when you eat it, it's like super moist, super juicy, and it's like very lemony. And so I should trademark that recipe. It's so far for the people that have tried it, they're like, oh, like it's pretty good. I don't know if they're gassing me up or not, but I think it's pretty good. I'm proud of it,
And I mean, I love it too. I think I've had that 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
and
it's the only thing
I haven't complained about it yet. So it's got to be pretty decent,
Yeah.
And, for someone that likes to work out too, I can really appreciate the amount of carbs and protein.
Yeah. On like a nutritional basis, I feel like it's
absolutely.
I think that's something that's driven me and that's kept my motivation going. How about you? What do you feel like that's kind of honed your skills? Because again, your presentation is immaculate. Like maybe we'll post a picture or something in the video just so you can see like the difference in our cooking, you know, and like
exactly. Just give it a thumbs up if it looks good, and don't be afraid to give it a thumbs down. So I'm always open for that criticism.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny. I feel like a lot of guys out there feel really proud when they kind of have their own signature special pasta dish. So that's exactly what I learned to make for myself. So pretty much what this pasta dish is kind of like it's almost like a chili oil angel hair pasta with like a mix of seafood in there, like shrimp and with shrimp and scallop, and all that's just kind of tossed together with a lot of butter, a lot of garlic, a lot of salt, pepper, chili oil, chili flakes. So you know you've got that nice spice in there, and all that's just kind of tossed together and pan fried. And then I top it off with a little bit of fresh greens. So what I used before was fresh parsley. So yeah, it just gave it a really nice pop to it. And one thing I also learned how to do too was make some garlic bread. So I just toasted that up. I found a very easy recipe on Google and just tried my best to follow it. It was a bit kind of burnt, but it was still edible, so I was very proud of it. Yeah, exactly. It looked good. I just had to scratch off like the burnt part of it, but yeah, it was still very good. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that dish. I have made it for a few people, and I think Sean's had that a few times.
Super good.
And he hasn't. Yeah, exactly. He hasn't died yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. So now I think I've officially joined the club of guys that have that signature pasta dish.
Yeah. I currently don't have that. I need to get up to that level a little bit. I think it's like I get a little bit like complacent in my cooking, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm the only one eating it, just like, or it's just like you eating it. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like what it's seasoned like, or whatever. But it's interesting. I want to hear what everyone else's like cooking journeys look like. You know, I think we're like late bloomers, obviously, but I guess it's better late than never. I know I've heard of at least some people who aren't cooking themselves or they can't. So at least we're making something. There's some progress, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Like although we're approaching our 30 soon, and we're kind of just learning the basics of frying eggs and working the stove. I feel like it's progress, and yeah, Sean, like you said, better late than never. So I guess that being said, this was more of I guess kind of like a fun discussion, a fun video for this week. But moving forward, we wanted to ask everyone if they had any suggestions on something easy that we can make for our friends. For sure, me and Sean aren't really comfortable making a whole roast or like a giant 30-pound turkey to feed our friends and family. But if you guys have any like easy recipes that you think we might be able to cook and that's kind of within their skill.
If there's anything out there you want to recommend, some basic cooking channels, nothing crazy, please leave it in the comments below.
Yeah, we don't want to burn our house down. We're just here to learn, have fun, and hopefully not kill our friends. And also, if there's anyone else out there that has recently just moved out and they're kind of learning how to cook and they're in the same boat as us, feel free to share your stories below. We would love to, share our stories together and, just kind of bounce these ideas back and forth.
Yeah, agreed. And we'll probably, if you follow our Instagram, you're going to see some pictures floating around there of like stuff we've made. So feel free to give us a shout out, and send us some pictures, just DM us some pictures or any recipes. We'd love to see them.
Alrighty, YouTube, that's it for this video today. As always, since it's Halloween out there, have lots of fun, eat candy, and enjoy.